so-called black Hollywood couples want to come in and then they want to sit there and play gatekeeper. Meanwhile, they're abusing and misusing all kinds of young people.
Now, actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon.
My only hope is that I can continue to do the kind of work that I've done, and that as long as I don't change my work habits, I figure I'll be able to do those kinds of things.
Samuel L. Jackson has seen 7 decades of Hollywood and watched certain actors climb to fame through methods too dark to ignore. From Oprah Winfrey publicly destroying James Frey on national television, then refusing to apologize for years.
My run-in with Oprah was fun. I mean, she got mad at me and she wanted to give me a lecture, and so be it.
To Steve Harvey announcing the wrong Miss Universe winner and blaming everyone but himself.
I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
To Wesley Snipes, serving 3 years in federal prison for tax evasion.
I must say I did not realize, or I still haven't figured out, why they felt it was so important. You know, the idea that they classified it as the biggest trial in the history.
What Samuel revealed about these 7 actors exposes the evil hiding behind their smiles and success. So, let's get into it. Oprah Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, in rural Kosciuszko, Mississippi, to unwed teenage parents Vernita Lee and Vernon Winfrey. Experiencing poverty so extreme, she wore dresses made from potato sacks. At age 6, Oprah moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother and was sexually abused by multiple family members starting at age 9, becoming pregnant at 14 and losing the baby shortly after birth. Despite this trauma, Oprah won a full scholarship to Tennessee State University in 1971, and by 19 was the youngest and first black female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC-TV.
Police are still attempting to identify the body of a young man who was found stabbed to death in a
This launched a career that would make her a billionaire media mogul and the host of The Oprah Winfrey Show from 1986 to 2011. In September 2005, Oprah selected James Frey's memoir, A Million Little Pieces, for her book club, calling it raw and real, sending it to #1 on bestseller lists with over 2 million copies sold. But on January 8, 2006, the smoking gun revealed Frey fabricated major portions, including lying about spending 87 days in jail when he spent only 3 hours. Oprah initially defended Frey on Larry King Live on January 11, 2006, dismissing the scandal as much ado about nothing. After intense criticism, Oprah reversed course and invited Frey back on January 26, 2006, ambushing him with what his publisher Nan Talese called a mean-spirited and self-serving attack designed to protect Oprah's brand rather than seek truth.
My run-in with Oprah was fun. I mean, she got mad at me and she wanted to give me a lecture, and so be it.
In 2010, Oprah devoted an episode to João Teixeira de Faria, a Brazilian faith healer known as John of God, presenting him as miraculous. She visited his clinic in 2012 and described experiencing something profound.
The first time I saw it today, I was humbled by the experience.
Ela disse quando ela viu primeiro as pessoas hoje,
pouco, isso aqui pertence a você.
Because a little bit of this belongs to you.
But in December 2018, over 600 women accused John of God of and running a baby trafficking operation. He was convicted in 2023 and sentenced to 370 years in prison for hundreds of women who came seeking spiritual healing. The same women Oprah encouraged to visit by promoting his clinic. Her Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, which opened in 2007 with $152 million, faced scandal when a dorm matron was accused of abusing students, and critics questioned the lavish spending on marble and yoga studios, while American schools struggled.
The trial of a former dormitory matron charged with abusing 6 students at Oprah Winfrey School for Girls in South Africa is resuming. Prosecutors say former dorm matron Tina Virginia Makopo tried to kiss and fondle the girls. She's also accused of kicking and hitting some of them.
Her friendship with Harvey Weinstein also became controversial after his 2017 arrest, when photos surfaced of them together, leading singer Seal to accuse her of knowing about Weinstein's predatory behavior for decades. Steve Harvey was born Broderick Stephen Harvey on January 17, 1957, in Welch, West Virginia, the youngest of 5 children to coal miner Jesse Harvey and Eloise Vera. His family moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where Harvey attended Glenville High School and developed a severe stutter that made him the target of constant bullying. After high school, Harvey worked as a boxer, auto worker, insurance salesman, carpet cleaner, and mailman while pursuing stand-up comedy on the side, spending 3 years homeless in the late 1980s and living in his 1976 Ford when not performing. Harvey's big break came in October 1993 when he became the host of Showtime at the Apollo, a position he held until 2000. In 1996, Harvey starred in his own sitcom, The Steve Harvey Show, on the WB, which ran for 6 seasons until 2002. He hosted The Steve Harvey Morning Show starting in 2000, and in September 2010 became host of Family Feud, revitalizing the show with his comedic reactions. On December 20th, 2015, Harvey hosted the Miss Universe pageant in Las Vegas and made international headlines when he announced Miss Colombia as the winner, placed the crown on her head, then returned minutes later to admit he had made a terrible mistake and that Miss Philippines was the real winner, creating one of the most embarrassing moments in live television history.
I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
In May 2017, a leaked internal memo Harvey sent to his staff went viral, revealing a controlling and hostile work environment. The memo stated that his door would remain closed at all times and instructed staff not to approach him in hallways, not to stop by for meetings without appointments, and not to open his dressing room door for any reason. The memo warned that anyone who violated these rules would be immediately removed from his private area and fired, exposing Harvey as someone who treated his staff with contempt despite his public image as a friendly host.
Host Steve Harvey has no regrets after a stunning memo to his show staff was leaked by a blogger this week.
In August 2019, Harvey vacationed in Italy with his wife Marjorie and was photographed having lunch with his 22-year-old stepdaughter Lori Harvey and 49-year-old Diddy, who were rumored to be dating at the time, raising eyebrows since Lori had previously dated Diddy's 25-year-old son, Justin Combs. Photos showed Lori caressing Diddy's head during the family meal, with Harvey appearing very comfortable as speculation swirled about his approval of the relationship between his stepdaughter and a man nearly 30 years her senior who had also been involved with his son. Tyler Perry was born Emmett Perry Jr. on September 13, 1969, in New Orleans, Louisiana, to Emmett Perry Sr., a carpenter, and Willie Maxine Perry, a preschool teacher. His father was physically abusive, beating Tyler so severely he later described his childhood as a living hell that included molestation by multiple adults. At age 16, Tyler changed his first name from Emmett to Tyler to distance himself from his abusive father and attempted suicide to escape the trauma. In 1992, at age 23, Perry moved to Atlanta and invested his life savings of $12,000 into producing a stage play called I Know I've Been Changed, inspired by Oprah's message about writing as therapy. The play failed and left Perry homeless for several years, living in his car and struggling to survive.
You were living in a car and then all of a sudden running an empire. That must have been, like, how did you stay grounded through all of that and connected to yourself and your truth?
Listen, living in a car will ground you, and never wanting to live in the car again will make you extremely careful.
Perry continued revising and staging the play throughout the 1990s, finally achieving success when the 1998 version at the House of Blues attracted a diverse audience and sold out its run. Perry created the character Medea, a tough elderly black woman based on his mother and aunt, who first appeared in his 2000 play I Can Do Bad All by Myself. The character became wildly successful, and Perry began producing films, building Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta in 2006, making him the first African American to own a major film studio outright. By 2011, Forbes listed Perry as the highest paid man in entertainment, earning $130 million that year. But in recent years, Perry has faced serious allegations from actors who worked on his productions. In 2024, an actor filed a lawsuit alleging Perry repeatedly harassed him during production of Perry's television projects, claiming Perry used his power to create coercive conditions and retaliated when advances were rejected.
Now, actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon.
The lawsuit detailed a pattern of inappropriate behavior and abuse of power that Perry used to control actors desperate for work in an industry with limited opportunities for black performers. Perry has denied all allegations through his legal team, but the accusations have raised questions about power dynamics and exploitation within his productions. Cuba Gooding Jr. was born on January 2, 1968, in the Bronx, New York, to Cuba Gooding Sr., lead singer of the soul group The Main Ingredient, and Shirley Sullivan, a backup singer. His father abandoned the family in 1975 when Cuba was 7 years old, leaving his mother to raise 4 children alone while working multiple jobs. Cuba attended 4 different high schools, including North Hollywood High School, where he was class president, and studied Japanese martial arts for 3 years. Gooding's acting career began in 1988 with a guest appearance on Hill Street Blues, followed by small roles in Coming to America in 1988 and Sing in 1989. His breakthrough came in 1991 when director John Singleton cast him as Trey Styles in Boys and the Hood, a role that showcased his dramatic talent and launched him to stardom. On March 24, 1997, Gooding won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Rod Tidwell in Jerry Maguire, delivering an energetic acceptance speech that became legendary for his enthusiastic shouting and jumping. But starting in June 2019, multiple women began accusing Gooding of misconduct in New York City, nightclubs, and bars.
How did you find yourself in a scenario where dozens of women were accusing you of pleading guilty to forcible touching and settling lawsuits?
People feel that I'm accessible to them.
A 29-year-old woman told police Gooding groped her without consent at Magic Hour rooftop bar and lounge near Times Square, leading to his arrest on June 13, 2019. Gooding initially pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor forcible touching and abuse charges.
People feel that I'm accessible to them, so I come in contact with all kinds of people, from people who adore you and people who are offended by you, people who feel you're aggressive. And you have to learn that as you walk on this path, you must stay neutral.
Within months, 2 additional women came forward with similar allegations. One server accused Gooding of pinching her buttocks after making a suggestive remark at TAO downtown in 2018, while another waitress claimed he forcibly kissed her at Lavo, New York nightclub, also in 2018. Prosecutors eventually charged Gooding with 6 misdemeanor counts stemming from these 3 incidents, and more than 30 other women came forward with similar accusations of groping, unwanted kissing, and inappropriate behavior at nightclubs, festivals, bars, and restaurants dating back years. William Henry Cosby Jr. was born on July 12, 1937, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to Anna Pearl, a maid, and William Henry Cosby Sr., a mess steward in the U.S. Navy. Cosby dropped out of high school in 10th grade to join the Navy, but later earned his high school equivalency diploma and attended Temple University on a track and field scholarship in 1961. He left Temple in 1962 to pursue stand-up comedy full-time, performing in Greenwich Village clubs where his clean, observational humor stood out in an era of vulgar comedians. Cosby broke racial barriers in 1965 when he became the first black actor to star in a primetime dramatic television series, I Spy, winning 3 consecutive Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor.
Well, you are really simple. Dumb is what you're being tagged and you don't even know.
In 1969, Cosby created and hosted The Bill Cosby Show, followed by the animated series Fat Albert and The Cosby Kids in 1972. His greatest success came with The Cosby Show, which premiered on NBC on September 20th, 1984, and ran for 8 seasons until April 30th, 1992, becoming the #1 rated show for 5 consecutive years and revolutionizing the portrayal of black families on television. But behind his wholesome image, Cosby was allegedly drugging women for decades. In 2005, Andrea Constand filed a lawsuit alleging Cosby drugged and assaulted her at his Pennsylvania home in January 2004.
I woke up and I had a bad dream, and that dream was that Mr. Cosby would do this to somebody else if I did not say or tell someone.
The case was settled in 2006 for an undisclosed amount, but Constand's allegations opened the floodgates. By 2015, more than 60 women had publicly accused Cosby of with many alleging he drugged them with pills or drinks before them while they were unconscious or unable to resist. On September 25, 2018, Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in state prison after being convicted on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault against Andrea Constand.
Bill Cosby, once a beloved TV dad, and tonight a judge now determining that he is a violent predator, ordering Cosby be cuffed and immediately sent to prison.
He served nearly 3 years at SCI Phoenix in Pennsylvania before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction on June 30th, 2021, on procedural grounds related to a previous non-prosecution agreement. Despite being released from prison, Cosby's legacy was destroyed, with The Cosby Show pulled from syndication, honorary degrees rescinded, and his reputation as America's dad permanently shattered by the dozens of women who came forward with remarkably similar stories of drug-facilitated sex assault. Wesley Trent Snipes was born on July 31st, 1962, in Orlando, Florida, but was raised in the South Bronx, New York, by his mother, Marion, a teacher's assistant. Snipes began training in martial arts at age 12 and attended the High School of Performing Arts in New York City, graduating in 1980. He studied theater at the State University of New York at Purchase before moving to Los Angeles to pursue acting full-time. Snipes appeared in Michael Jackson's Bad Music video in 1987 and landed his breakout role in 1989's Major League. But his career exploded with New Jack City in 1991 and White Men Can't Jump in 1992.
You're incapable of running this. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
In 1998, Snipes starred as the Marvel Comics character Blade in the film of the same name, which became a massive box office success, earning $131 million, worldwide. Blade 2 in 2002 and Blade Trinity in 2004 cemented Snipes as one of Hollywood's most bankable black action stars, with the trilogy earning over $400 million globally. But despite earning tens of millions from the Blade franchise and other films, Snipes stopped filing federal income tax returns in 1999, falling under the influence of tax protest schemes that claimed the government had no legal authority to collect income taxes. In October 2006, Snipes was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of conspiring to defraud the United States, filing false claims for tax refunds totaling $11 million, and failing to file tax returns from 1999 through 2004 despite earning millions in income during those years.
I must say I did not realize, or I still haven't figured out, why they felt it was so important. You know, the idea that they classified it as the biggest trial in the history.
On February 1st, 2008, after a 13-day trial in Ocala, Florida, a jury found Snipes not guilty of conspiracy to defraud and filing false claims, but convicted him on 3 misdemeanor counts of willful failure to file tax returns. On April 24, 2008, Judge William Terrell Hodges sentenced Snipes to 3 years in federal prison, the maximum allowed for the misdemeanor convictions. Snipes began serving his sentence on December 9, 2010, at Federal Correctional Institution McKean in Pennsylvania, missing the prime years of the superhero film boom that his Blade trilogy had helped create. He was released on April 2, 2013, after serving 28 months, owing the IRS over $17 million in back taxes, penalties, and interest. Willard Carroll Smith Jr. was born on September 25, 1968, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to Caroline, a school board administrator, and Willard Carroll Smith Sr., a refrigeration engineer. Smith grew up in West Philadelphia's Winfield neighborhood in a middle-class household and attended Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic School and Overbrook High School, where he earned the nickname The Prince for his charming personality. Smith met Jeffrey Towns in the mid-1980s and formed the hip-hop duo DJ Jazzy Jeff and The Fresh Prince, winning the first-ever Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance in 1989 for Parents Just Don't Understand. In 1990, NBC producer Benny Medina approached Smith with the concept for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a sitcom that ran for 6 seasons until May 20th, 1996, making Smith a household name.
Yo, baby, I know your feet must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day. Come here, girl.
Smith transitioned to film with Bad Boys in 1995, Independence Day in 1996, and Men in Black in 1997, becoming one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. But singer Jaguar Wright has made explosive allegations about Will and Jada's marriage, claiming they manipulate and traumatize young men under the guise of mentorship, and that young men have left their house screaming to get away from them.
When these so-called black Hollywood couples want to come in and then they want to sit there and play gatekeeper. Meanwhile, they're abusing and misusing all kinds of young people.
On March 27, 2022, Smith won his first Academy Award for Best Actor for King Richard at the 94th Academy Awards ceremony. But the win was overshadowed by what happened minutes earlier. During the ceremony, presenter Chris Rock made a joke comparing Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head to Demi Moore in G.I. Jane, referencing Jada's alopecia condition. Smith initially laughed at the joke, but after seeing Jada's uncomfortable reaction, he walked onto the stage and slapped Chris Rock across the face in front of millions watching worldwide, then returned to his seat and shouted profanity at Rock, telling him to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. Rock chose not to press charges, and the show proceeded with Smith remaining in his seat. Minutes later, Smith won Best Actor and delivered an emotional speech comparing himself to Richard Williams protecting his family, but never directly apologizing to Rock. The Academy banned Smith from attending the Oscars or any Academy events for 10 years, and Smith resigned from the Academy on April 1st, 2022. The incident dominated headlines for months and severely damaged Smith's carefully cultivated image as Hollywood's nicest superstar, revealing an entitled man who assaulted someone on live television, then enjoyed the rest of his evening like nothing had happened. These 7 stars climbed to fame through scandal, abuse, and secrets that Hollywood tried desperately to keep buried forever. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.